Yeah, you could start recording now, I think.
Hmm.
Okay. Okay, so I think you all can see the screen now.
Yes.
Yeah, so we plan on covering quite a bit. Okay, as you can see previous classes ke slides say. Yeah, we plan on covering quite a bit now, but most of these topics we're planning to finish within the next hour or so, depending on how many questions you ask. Like we'll try to, okay. But then obviously, like if you're you can hang around to ask more questions at the end of it. Okay, so this is the third JavaScript class, which is part of the JavaScript program summer camp hosted by the Tech Club. We have around 8 people in attendance. Stella, can you take the attendance, Ajka? Your Pritish could not be here. Pritish normally records all classes for the JavaScript program at least, but he has some other work currently, so he won't be with us. Aj at least. Stella, are you here?
Yes.
Can you like just see? Can you just
Yeah.
like send me a message of how many people are present? Send me their names.
Like I have taken a screenshot of the participants though.
Okay, just send it to me. Okay, so I think like we've covered all this. So, पहले वाले classes में mathematical operators, assignment operators, comparison, and then there's logical and string. We have done all of that.
Yes.
I presume. Okay. So again, before this goes without saying that participation in your classes is encouraged, obviously, because that is what you will be graded upon. So far, it has been very satisfactory. So that is something you do not need to worry about. It's just something I mentioned in a bit. Okay, so we'll begin. I'll just get rid of this thing. Pop up. If statement. Now, first glance pe, what does this look like? What does the if statement do? This. Just very basic explanation.
If something occurs, then this thing.
Exactly. अरे जैसे मम्मी पापा बोलते हैं ना, like say like you study, like say your parent, like say you want to go to some party or something, then but then your parents are not allowing you because exams are like बहुत ही पास में है. So your parents give you a condition. If you finish the syllabus, say like at least 10 pages of the syllabus is so and so chapter in the next 2 hours, then you're allowed to go, have fun or whatever. That is exactly what this is. This is essentially the condition, like the condition jo beech mein, which you can see here. That is what your parent gives you. And the statements, that is the party here. Okay? So agar, like if you end up fulfilling your parents' conditions, you're allowed to go to the party. And if I'll just fire up the compiler a second. Switch windows. Okay. So the way that this basically works is pretty self-explanatory. If that is an English word, then you just say the condition, something like 10 is greater than 7. Then console.log 10 is greater than 7. If I run it, it's going to give me exactly that. Now, if I flip this, what is it going to do? Output क्या निकलेगा इसका? I have flipped the direction of the condition. False. Arnish Chakraborty. Is that like a new chat? I wasn't looking at the chat. Error. Okay, so we're getting different answers. False, error. Any other answer?
I think nothing will happen.
Okay, Weber thinks nothing. Weber, no, I didn't see. Okay, Moitri also thinks nothing will happen. Okay, I believe somebody else joined the Abhi. Somebody is in the waiting room now. Huh. Okay. So I flip the direction of the condition. Now we're getting different answers. So I run this. It's going to do nothing. Now, why is it going to do nothing? Moitreyo, did I pronounce your name correct?
The condition isn't satisfied. If the condition isn't satisfied, it wins nothing.
Okay. Huh. So is that okay? Like, acha, in what cases, like, can this if condition, like the whole, like the condition that we have here, is there any way we can get an error anywhere? Is it possible, like with whatever I've covered till now, Jyotishko? I'll appreciate an answer. Not possible. Okay. Moitreyo. So is it clear, Abhi, Jyotishko and Arnesh? Arnesh was close. False is like nothing. When it outputs nothing, it is known as like falsy value because it's technically empty and absent, right?
And
But
I
like
don't
false was
think in
close.
JavaScript you can't get errors unless the thing is like the syntax is wrong.
Or if like like infinite loops, we'll cover that as well. Okay. I'm not sure really. I have not been on this side of JavaScript for a while now. Anyways, we'll move on to the next part. एक second, I'll just change the window again. Right. So the next, is there anything of importance यहाँ पे? Also, I know I have not been sending you all notes, but that is because there have been some technical difficulties. The notes will essentially be this. ठीक है? I just haven't been able to get around to it, but then you will be getting all notes by the end of today. So do not worry. We'll also be adding another resources channel. I think somebody recommended that pehle. I don't exactly remember who, but yes, that I think that will be very convenient as well. So another thing to note is, like just read this basically. If write it in like uppercase letters like camel case pe, then it's going to throw you an error. So that is something you also need to keep in mind. So it's just if is in lowercase letters always. Okay, moving on. It's the else statement. So this is also pretty self-explanatory. So coming back to our mummy papa ka analogy, take if expression. So like if you study 3 hours today, you can go to the party, or else you'll have to sit at home and study. This is basically a continuation of this segment yahan pe. And there's nothing really more to say about it. So like, just let me know if you have any questions. Like, this is also pretty self-explanatory. I don't think I'll have to demonstrate this. Do I need to? Do you want me to? Bolo, bolo, bolo. Jaldi. Okay.
I think.
What is this? Okay. So this is basically explaining the code that is here, and I will be sending you the material today, I promise. So this, there is a special name for this. Take it. There is another way we can like check simple conditions and all that, like the one I gave you, na mummy papa ka padhai karo ya fir ghar pe baithe raho. So there is another simple way to do that. Instead of writing all this code as a curly braces mein wrap karke, you can use this. Now there is a special name for what this is called. Can anybody tell me what it is? I think the people who have taken if else loop. No, it's not a loop, Rishabh. This isn't a loop. It's a statement. Okay, loops are later on. यहाँ पे loops मतलब क्या? It'll just keep on repeating. But then यहाँ तो कुछ repeat नहीं हो रहा ना. So what like loops का भी तक like कोई लेना देना नहीं है, ठीक है? This is known as a ternary operator, as far as I remember.
I think if it is, if the statement if the condition is true, it like executes the alert A part, and if it is false, it executes alert B.
Yep, that is correct. Anjashno, I think. I didn't say who was speaking. But that is exactly what it does. So this is basically, I'll actually demonstrate this exactly, just so there are no right. So excellent. So I'll bring this back. So say I'll just add another component of this. Take care. Now, if we are following the same principles yahan pe, the way I've like done the console.log is line pe, what should I write here? Iske andar, under in between these two things. What should my statement be? Hello.
I didn't quite understand the question.
Acha. What I'm trying to say is, yahan pe I have written a statement, right? For this condition. So like if this condition is true, then it will execute this. Else, it will execute this. So what should my text be here?
10 is not greater than 7 or 10 is smaller than 7.
7 is greater than 10. Arnesh says 7 is greater than 10.
7 is smaller
Is that
than
true?
7 is
Arnesh?
small, we could say.
Is it true, Arnesh, what you said? Is 7 greater than 10? Arnesh? No. Tahale? That does not make sense, right? So, I mean, this is not really a coding question. This is more of logic, which is required in competitive programming and that side of tech in general, except, So what I write is, which was, wait, who said like answer? Who gave the answer pehle? I
Like
didn't
on
get
mark
your name.
or what?
Acha, no, wait, but the first condition and statement is also not true. Yeah, so this is not true. So you're supposed to find an equivalent to this, right? So 10 is, and like in theory, acha, wait, I probably took like a wrong example in the first place. I should have like just taken a variables A and B. Okay. How do I declare variables? Jaldi bolo. How do I declare variables A and B? Say I want to put values to them. Var A, okay. Var A, var B. And I want to initialize them with a value. Like give koi bhi random values bhar do.
It's equal to
Antara.
it's equal to the
Value of a variable, right? So I'll say I'll give 10, and I'll give 6. Okay, and also like you can put semicolons at the end of the statements. You cannot as well. Choose a name, Moitro. That is wrong. A equal to 2. I think. No, actually that is correct. That is correct. You can also like edit it later on. I take that back. So यहाँ पे you would say something like, अच्छा, now I want to display the value of variables A or B यहाँ पे after declaring the variable. So like इस line पे what should I write to correct, like to change my
What did you
thing?
ask? I don't understand.
I want to put these variables like according to like the condition, right? I want to display the message here.
So like we can write in bracket like A plus we have to write in quotes. Like outside the quotes you have to write in like A.
Like this.
No, outside the quotes. Like in the bracket but outside the quotes. Yeah, A plus.
Like this.
I think so, yes.
And then.
And then in the last also after the quotes also we can write plus B.
Okay. And what should I write for this? Like, what should I edit यहाँ पे?
Like we can write A smaller than B.
Okay.
Like A plus.
like ऐसे कर दिया ना? Plus B. Okay. Let's run this. But then that does not seem right. What did we do wrong? यहाँ पे?
Okay, then we had tried B first, now because it's B is we are showing that B is greater if A is smaller
Right,
than
but
B.
if I were to change this line, what would I do?
B is greater than A.
Yep,
We had tried
that is
opposite.
correct. Huh.
Oh, A is less than B. Both
The devil is in the details, please.
like A.
Remember
A is
that.
less than-
Also, if you all are direct messaging me, do not direct message me on the account where I'm screen sharing. Direct message me on the account where I'm talking, because that is the only chat that I see. Okay. Okay. So, if I were to convert this into a ternary operator, what would I do? Just send me the code in the chat. Don't say it
Can
out
you
loud.
repeat the question?
If I were to convert this condition, if else block that I have here, into a ternary operator, what would I do? Ternary operator. I covered that, I believe.
The question mark one, no?
Question mark wala. That is known as a ternary operator. Anvit is asking me, I'm a little late. Could you tell me what we're doing? We're currently doing if else statements. Do you happen to know about them? Yeah. Okay, I'm explaining that again. Okay. So if else statement is clear, though, Anvit and Rishabh. Sure. So a ternary operator, what it does is it does the exact same thing as an if else operator, if else block, if else statement, but it kind of like just compresses it into one line. Okay, Anjashnu has an answer. B is greater than A. Okay. Is he correct? Is Anjashnu correct? Did you all understand what it is? What this is? So like if the condition is correct, then like if this condition is correct, then it'll like, execute the first block here before the colon. And if it is false, then it'll execute the second block after the colon. So keeping that in mind, did what Anjashnu write, is that correct? Chat pe. He has sent it in chat. Can you show us an example of the code using? Okay. Achha, wait, I'll just share screen again. Yeah, so this is the thing. It starts after this colon. Okay, so like it's just this part. Just label that. This is the code. Okay, which is the exact same thing as this. Just the variable names have been changed. Yahan pe. What was the question again, Anvit? The question was, if I were to convert, this block of code here, if else block, into a ternary operator. You all now know what a ternary operator is. Then what would the code for this be? To that question, this was Anjashnu's reply. Now I am asking you, did what Anjashnu send, is that correct? Is the code correct? Anjashnu's submission? No, Rishabh says it's not correct. I think not. Why do you think not, Rishabh? Alert. No. Alert is something I haven't covered. That is not the issue here. So if I run it, you're going to see that it gives us an error at the end. That is, again, because the devil is in the details, Anjashnu added a quote here at the end, which was redundant. and it gives us the exact same answer as this. So like if I change the variables now, say 10 and 6, it's gonna change. I think, yeah, change. So just again, the devil is in the details. Also, Rishabh, to again clarify, it's okay on Vishnu. To again clarify, alert is something I haven't exactly covered yet because I don't know if it will work in the online compiler. It's something that only works यहाँ पे, but I'll see. See, so alert, it just like consoles.log, that's the whole thing. So like alert and console.log in the online compiler work the same way. It worked. No, but like in theory, it's supposed to bring out like a dialog box at the upper end of the screen. Okay, but because we're doing it in an online compiler, this is a kind of a limitation that we have. Okay, so is our ternary operators understood? Is it okay now? Some people asking questions. Pehle, Rishabh, I think. Anvit was one, yeah. Huh. Okay, what about the others? Ternary operators are okay? Sure. Okay, good. We will now move on to the else if statement, which is the exact same thing. What the else if statement does is it allows you to chain your conditions together. Take care. So like say you have more than one condition. Say you have a wardrobe that contains a red shirt and a blue shirt and a green shirt, and you want to like check each one, like which one you're wearing right now. Take care. So I would do something like, wait, I'll just go back to the thing here. You don't need to see the notes for this. It's pretty much self-explanatory. Just a second. Yeah, so I will just comment all of this out for now. Also, I added single line comments here. What would I do if I were to comment the whole thing out? What would the better approach to this be?
Like
Instead of,
we can
like
write asterisks with one asterisk.
asterisks. Okay. Could you elaborate on that? Like, what am I supposed to do?
You
Here,
have to
where
give
my
the
cursor is right now.
slash, then asterisks.
Yeah, that is what everybody has answered. And then, is that okay now? Okay, it is okay.
You need to add a asterisk and slash at the end.
Yes, that is also something that you need to take a note of. Okay. So, wait, what were we covering? If else statements, right? So, say I have wait, I'll just write down code here. What is the data type of this variable that I just declared? Jaldi, quick. You've studied all this. String, good. Should do. Achha, no. Yeah. So like this is the shirt that I have. Now, if I have like many things, take care. If I have achha, wait, I'll actually do that as well. Shirt 2 equal to blue war shirt 3. I don't know, red. Okay. Say this is my wardrobe. These are the different color shirts I have. Now, what would I do using like the if else statement? Like, how would I try and check which color my shirt is? Like, say I want a red color shirt. Okay. Like, what would the if else statement for this be? Like, say I input a shirt in to the condition, and I want to know, like, I want to console.log
Like we
the
have
color of
to
the shirt.
do it like that. If
Write the code for me. Don't say.
okay.
Just type it out. Give you like 1 minute, everyone. Frame an if else condition, which gives me the color. you have to use the if else thing, else if thing as well here. Okay. So while I haven't technically covered that, I think you all should have already developed some basic intuition of the way it works. You have another 30 seconds remaining, everybody. Right. So Rishabh has given us the first. Okay, okay. Now to the people that were writing, you can like, is there anybody else who's also writing, trying to write their version of the code, or has everybody else given up? Antara, Moitro, Arnesh, Ritishko. Writing, okay, okay, quick. Okay, quick. But it's the same thing. Okay. Okay, then you don't need to send. If you have anything different, then send it to me. Mine is the same as well. Okay. So people have mostly got the same thing. Right. So is there a problem with what he has done? Like, is it correct? What he sent us? I think Rishabh sent us the same. I'm not asking you to like read into it a lot. Take it. First glance pay, is the logic correct? Tell me that.
Like,
first.
do we need to write that if SHA2 is green? Is it what we have to write that?
The statement does not matter. No.
Okay.
Like it's correct. It's correct. Like but at the first glance, do you see any syntax errors? I'll just like space it. Second.
I don't see any syntax errors, but I don't know if the shirt is like yellow or something, it will still print blue.
Okay, Stella
I
is
see
asking us,
there
can I
isn't
answer?
any brackets after else, like
Huh.
in the else
So
block.
that is the first mistake. Thank you. Anjashnu, right? Huh. So that is the first error that you had in your code. Now the second question. Now if you like, I don't take that
There
class,
isn't
but, like,
any semicolon after the console.log statements.
semicolon. I told you like it does not really matter because like like I told this to you in the first class. Yes, Anvit is correct. Semicolons are optional. It is obviously good practice to include semicolons, but it's not necessary. Now,
Else I don't find anything.
logical operator wise, Pritish took that class. I have not watched that class, but Pritish has covered that topic. Are the logical operators in the conditions correct?
Wait. I think
No,
there will be
sure.
double equal to's, like
Huh.
there will be two equal to's next to each other.
Okay.
Yeah.
Arnesh also says the same thing. Was there anybody else who also wanted to speak up when Anjashna was talking? I heard somebody's voice. Okay, I will take that as a no. But yes, that is also, I'll actually bring that slide up a second. Right, so it should be somewhere around here. Comparison operators, not logical operators, but yes. See, there is a double. Did he cover all this, Pritish? Last class, mein?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, okay, so like just as a quick revision, tell me what the difference is between these two. Okay? Like these two comparison operators.
One just shows us like the triple one checks for the type as well as the value, while the equal just checks for the value.
And what do you mean by type?
Type means a type of variable like string or integer.
Okay, good. So that is pretty much it. In the code example that we had there, let me just pull that up. We're supposed to use double quotes or single quotes. Sorry, not quotes. Double equal to or triple equal to.
Oh yeah, wait. I think double will be good, and
Double only because we are not checking the type.
Yes, this type
Huh.
is really
shouldn't like the string values to which I am comparing it should be in single inverted commas.
Huh?
Like
No. String
okay.
values, irrespective of whether you have stored it in a single or double, they're the same thing. Okay, it's just a string. There is no distinction to be made depending on the number of quotes on either side of the string. So, with that said, should this code work as expected now? Do you have any complaints? Just tell me that. Like, is there anything else you'd like to change?
I mean, this is
Tell me one thing, like,
JavaScript in like Java,
shirt
they shouldn't
one
work.
shirt is
Excellent.
green. Shirt is green.
Uh-huh.
But in the first one, why are we writing like the shirt 2 is equal to green and shirt 2 is green?
Come again?
Like shirt 1 or the shirt which he wrote is green. Then
Huh.
why we are writing that shirt 2 is equal to green, and in the string also we are writing shirt 2 is green.
Like, this is the condition, right? And this is the output. So like if like in the first 20-30 minutes of the class which I told you, no, it's like this
Yes,
is the
but
check. This checks for the yeah, continue.
shirt 2 is not green, na? Shirt 2 is blue.
Huh.
Yeah,
But
so
then I
else
told you to
block will do
frame.
the executing.
I told you to frame an if-else condition which gives you color. Like if you choose any one of the variables here, ठीक है, यहाँ से like उठा के एक variable like select कर दिए and say like you wanted to check what color it is. Obviously, you know, like not using the obvious method, right? Like just ऐसे console.log shirt 2 करने से ही तो color निकल जाता. I told you to use an if-else condition. So like in that respect, what he sent us is correct. But then, is there anything
Okay.
else? Error? Any errors? There is one error. I will tell you that much. Can you tell me where? It's a syntactical error. That helps.
Okay, give 2 seconds. Is it about the space between if and the condition?
Where?
And the
Or what
except
do you
and the condition between like if then the brackets, is it about that or does that not matter?
I will take that as one point, but then I will not confirm whether it's correct or not. Somebody in the chat has written
I think
something.
that's
Stella, yes. Do you have anything to say?
Answer. Can I
Yeah.
see the answer?
No, you
Okay.
cannot.
no, you cannot. Definitely.
Huh. Tell me. Is there anything odd that strikes you about this part? Anything at all? If I just like, take my screen यहाँ पे. No hyphen. Yes, Anish, that is correct. And just know it does not matter whether you have a space or not.
Okay.
You can have spaces, that is not a problem. What the main problem was, it was a syntactical error. You're not supposed to have a hyphen. The code that he submitted was, like it was hyphenated essentially, the condition else if. But you're supposed to have a space between the two of them. And like different programming languages have different ways of saying this. Like if you were using Python or something, right, you'll have something like elif, which is a short form. But for JavaScript, at least, it's just like simple else space if. And if I run it, what is the output of this going to be now? Jaldi, quick. What output should I get?
Shirt 2 is blue.
Shirt 2 is blue. Okay, take that answer. Yes, that is correct. Shirt 2 is blue. So is that okay now? Achha, wait, what if I do this? What should the answer be now?
Sure, 2 is
Is it
right.
going to... Okay. Is that correct? Confirm, everybody.
What change did you make?
I changed. Achha, nahi, do not mind what change I made. Just tell me what the output of this code will be. I'm not getting any answers. Just shirt 2 is red, okay. Arnesh has one. Do we have any other answers? Is anybody else like, are you still thinking about it? Would you like to give me some more time, or would you like me to give you some more time? Okay, so we have had a pretty
I think
confident
shirt
answer.
2 is red.
Okay, let's see. Still running. Okay, it's not giving us anything. It's output. Or is this just too slow? Achha, wait. I didn't click it properly. Sorry. Oh, this is expected behavior. Not sure why this is happening. This is either really slow, it's not working. But essentially, it's checking for shirt 2 ka value, right? And if shirt 2 is blue, then it should print this. I'm not sure why it's not printing that abhi. But okay. I'll just create a new instance. Compiler. Huh. So I think there is something wrong with the compiler, but yes, to the people that answered, then it's going to save it wahan pe na, which is why, wait, let me just copy everything. Just going to paste that in. If I run it now, yeah, okay. So it is giving us shirt 2 is red. Okay, so now that we have that out of the way, I think we'll move on to just a second. Yeah. I'll just change screens. So it turns out there is a smarter way of doing what we just did using the switch statement. So यहाँ पे क्या होता है? This is the condition, ठीक है? What you write here, that is the condition. Expression की जगह पे. This is the condition. And then like this is like the if and else and like else वैसे करके, ठीक है? And this is like a variable or a value that you put in. And these are like repeating sets of statements that you can put in here. So just looking at this, can you give me a basic idea of like, can you understand what is happening here? Arnish is asking, can we convert if else if into ternary operators? No, you cannot do that. Ternary operators are only like a simplified version of if and else. You can't have else if in ternary operators. Okay. So I actually use this code to demonstrate here. Okay. And also document.write, it does the exact same thing as console.log. Not really, but like just abhi ke liye wahi maan ke chalo, okay? So document.write, like just replace this in your head with console.log. So here what we've done is we've declared a variable day with a value of 2. Then for switch day, so what this does is day ka value ko yahan ghusayega. So like, what does day become here? It becomes 2. And then case 1, case 2, case 3. So what this does, this is the variable value. Okay? So like, this is the value that it checks against. So like, is this value here equal to this value? Is 2 equal to 1? No, it isn't, obviously. So that would mean it's going to skip. Okay? It's going to skip and it's going to come back here. And then it's going to say 2, Tuesday. Yes, and it will print Tuesday. But say the variable value for day here was 4 or 5, or it was something like Tuesday. What would it have said then? Did you understand the question? Or should I repeat that once more? I think it's become this.
Can you repeat once?
Yeah, just a second. Yeah, so like instead of say, so like instead of
So I did not understand what does switch here mean.
Switch is like जैसे कि यहाँ if के तरह था ना. If is like a set keyword which gives you that. But like switch here, it's essentially telling you like switch between these different cases. Like this is the first case, this is the second case, this is the third case. And what this will do is it will switch between these cases. Take a look, it will take this value that we have inside यहाँ पे, and it will check them against
can we
each.
the whole thing once again? If can
Switch. Yeah, wait. I'll actually use the code editor this time. Just a second. I'll actually switch. Okay. So I'll just comment all of this out. Okay. And I'm going to just clear out some space. So var day equal to 2. And then not sure what exactly they had. Tabhi. But var switch day. Was it this? Yeah. And then I do something like case. Actually, I'll actually not use numbers. I'll use case. Actually, I'll actually use numbers. And then I'll do something like console.log day is Monday. I'll just get that in. Yeah, so this was the code that we had. And what this does is we input this variable inside yahan pe. And then what is the variable? What is the value for this variable?
2.
Yes, Rishabh, yes, you're correct. But I'll actually go into this in detail. Yeah, so like the value for this is 2. So like it's going to check the value of this variable that we have inputted here. So it's 2, right? So like yahan pe 2 बिठा दो ऐसे अभी के लिए. And then it's going to see like check the,
like could you please tell
against
me
this
what
one.
does switch do?
Switch, it switches between these. Like it's like a keyword. Like you are telling the computer, I am about to use this machine or this mechanism of the computer which will allow me to like switch case 1, switch case 2, switch case 3. It's like a keyword. It's just like if, like you cannot have an if condition. Like you cannot use Hindi words there, right? Like agar 7 equal to 10 or something, and then you can't use Hindi words, right? So like it's a defined keyword that you have. So like देखो यहाँ पे ऐसे yellow color आ रहा है, but then if I used Hindi word, right, the computer cannot understand language. It just uses these keywords which we have defined, and then it's going to use those and run code on its own.
Okay. It's like it
So
will
let's-
like after Tuesday it will add day, then after Wednesday, like something like that.
It's going to compare the value of the variable that we input bracket ke beech mein with each of the cases that we have. So my
Okay.
question is like, is that understood, Abhi tak? Everyone? Like basic functionality of what switch does.
This case 1, case 2, and default, like all these come under the switch. Right? This is also function of
What?
is
What
this
did you
also a function of switch? Okay.
Like this is like switch ke niche, like see I've indented yahan pe na. So like indentation matlab like like I open the thing yahan pe curly braces and I ended it here. That's what this is. So does default basically act as else? Yes, Anvit. Default basically acts as else. So like if I had something like Tues, what would the value for this be? Anvit says another day. Okay. What about the others? Is Anvit correct? Arnish also says okay. It's two of you now. But then I'm inputting Tuesday too, and Tuesday is equal to Tuesday. Okay.
I
So-
think it's another day.
You think it's what?
Another day?
Another day. Okay. Why is it another day? Give me reasoning.
Because the default is that, and the default executes when none of the cases.
But the case is not Tuesday. Yes, the case is the number. So like if I execute that now, it's going to give me another day. Value of the word has to be equal to the value beside the case. Yes, exactly. Amrit. Okay, so I think we've covered switch pretty nicely. Now, say I had something like, wait. Yeah, Stella, what do you mean? Like the break keyword? I'm coming to that. Yeah, that was the next part of it. So, say I had something like, just a
Why
second.
did it come like another day when you like wrote Tuesday?
Tues. What does this do? Like if I like this bracket, what does it do? Achha, who can answer this question? Can you
What
all
is
give
the
me an
question?
answer to this question? Could you ask your question again? I don't remember who it was. Whoever it was, could you please ask your question again? Why?
Like why did it came like another day when we wrote Tuesday the value?
Yeah, Tues, because it does not check for the like Tues variable. No, it checks for this number that we have, and like so what it is essentially doing is uske dimag mein, computer ke dimag mein, it's checking if Tues is equal to 1, Tues is equal to 2, or Tues is equal to 3. Like this is what computer does mentally. Okay? It does not concern us. But obviously, like none of these values match. Okay? Because this is a string and that is an integer. So what it does, it goes to the default. And what is default? Another day. So like if you had something like maybe Monday, yes, when just a second, yeah, then let me just edit this out because that is what the computer does mentally. It's none of our business. What would the output for this be?
Tuesday only, no?
Okay. Use. Acha, Anvit says it won't run. Why? Wait, what is problem here? Anvit? Anvit,
I
I'm
don't think
waiting.
it won't. No.
Monday, Tuesday, neither int nor strings. There's strings though. Acha, wait. I
Because
forgot
of
to
the-
add a thing.
Yeah, that.
The end of it. I'm sorry, that was my mistake. Yeah. So what should the output of this be? Tues. Okay, Arnesh, what do you think? Okay, so everybody says Tues. If we run it, it does this. Now, why does it do this? Why do you think it does this? Just think about it for a moment. Okay, I'm getting no answers. Well, I did not expect an answer in the first place, but in case you have already done this in other languages or not, there is a wait. Anvit, it executes all the blocks of code after one block of, yes, that is correct. So like, what does this do? It's like lock and key ki tarah, theek hai? It's like this is the key that we have, and these are the different locks. This is like a whole building, and say like this is the like our key here is the string variable Tues, right? Tuesday. I'll just say Tuesday because I think it's more convenient that way to say.
Like once we put the key of Tues, like after that everything unlocks after.
Yes, that because that is what exactly happens here. Na? Like Tues, like once I use this key that I have here, Tuesday. So like first what it does, the first thing it does is it checks against this case Tuesday and Monday. So like is Tuesday equal to Monday? It's obviously going to be false, right? So it skips this. Like like the lock did not fit, like the key did not fit inside the lock. Now the next case that we go to, it checks against Tuesday is equal to Tuesday. Yes, because both of them are string variables with the same value. So like it's going to console.log this. But instead of then going to the next case and checking for its condition, it's going to like just directly execute whatever code is below it. Why? Because like think of it like this is like a one big building, and if you have like a key to one of these locks, like one of the floors, you can get into the whole building and like execute everything in the lower floors. Does that make sense? Yes. Everybody else? But then why is it? But yes, it is not a viable alternative for if else if. That is exactly what I was about to go to. Oh, others. Is it okay? Like till now? Arnesh, Moitro, Jyotishko. Okay. Okay, good. So then to bring up Anvit's point, yes, it is pretty useless for now. But what they have done, like the people that wrote the language, right? The computer, it has given us another special keyword. So like the same way switch is a special keyword, like you cannot use something like key this and then like this is the building as a lock karke to nahi kar sakte na. This is a special like there are specific predefined words that have been used to tell the computer to do like ye karo wo karo. Similarly, there is another special word that the computer has given us that we can use. It's known as break. Now what break does is it makes the whole thing viable. So like once say like yahan se like this is my chabi, right? So like I input the chabi yahan pe, then first what it does is Tuesday equal to Monday. No, it does not. So like it rejects it completely. Then it goes to the next day. I'll just actually yeah. So what it does first, like this chabi that we have, it will check if it can fit inside Monday ka lock. But obviously Tuesday is not equal to Monday, so it's going to go to the next case and not going to execute this code. Then it's going to check if Tuesday is equal to Tuesday. It will only print out another day. I'm coming to that. Just wait a second. So then what it's going to do is it's going to check against this is Tuesday equal to Tuesday. Yes, Tuesday is equal to Tuesday. So what will it do? it's going to console.log this because like चाबी के अंदर like lock तो मिल गया ना, so like it can get into the building now in this floor, and what it does, it executes this. Now normally क्या होता अगर यहाँ पर break statement नहीं रहता, then it would like just execute all the floors के नीचे जो भी code था, like it'll also execute this line, ठीक है? Because obviously once you get into the building, you can go to the lower floors easily. You don't need the key to all the other floors. But because we added a break statement here, what it does, इसको बाहर फेंक देता है फिर से, like it throws the person with the key outside the building again. So like it has to check for the condition. So like is Tuesday equal to Wednesday? No, Tuesday is not equal to Wednesday. So it cannot like execute. Like एक बार building में घुस गया तो like it cannot go to the lower floors anymore. Like it has to like unlock each and every lock that it sees at anywhere. Rishabh, so is it understood, everyone? So like if I if I run this code now, what should my output be?
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Okay, I'll run it. Tuesday. Yes. Going to be just that. What if I do
If we
something
don't
like
use break, everything will be printed after that. And if we use break,
only that floor, उस floor का ही execute होगा.
will be printed. Yes.
So like if I remove this, अभी क्या होगा? What will the output for this be now? Achha, wait, no, not this. एक second. For this, what do we think the output will be?
Wednesday and bed and another day.
Wednesday and another day. If I run it, it's going to give me just that, Wednesday and another day. Okay, so it's clear. Switch statement.
Yes.
Why did it show another day? Like again, can it be?
That is because like building में तो एक बार घुस गया ना, like there is no break keyword.
Okay.
Break is like the security guard.
There's no break.
Each floor
I
में,
can notice.
so like break is like the security guard. It checks each floor and like it'll let you execute उस code पे because you obviously have the key, right? That is your room. Like चाबी तो है उस floor का, तो तुम घुस गए. You can execute the code there. But like as soon as you try to go to the other floors, जिसके लिए तुम्हारे पास key नहीं है, the break keyword, what does it do? Like a very good security guard, it goes to, it, throws you out of the building, and then you have to like get the keys for all the other floors, which you obviously don't have. So what do you end up doing? You only end up executing that floor का code जिसके लिए तुम्हारे पास already चाबी है. Okay. This is interesting, no? Switch keyword and all that.
Yes.
Give an example, like where can we use this?
You can use this like technically you could also do the same thing with if and else, na? So why would we want to use switch? What it does is like it's just basic, like you can use both of them. None of them are wrong. But this is just cleaner to look at in a way. वरना क्या करना पड़ता है? You'd have to do something like is Wednesday or like is day equal to Monday, then is day equal to
Yes.
Tuesday. It's like बहुत unclean हो जाता है. But then like this is just neat. ऐसे like predefined keywords है, and you can just like check, like when you are checking for like one value against one value ऐसे ऐसे करके, then you can obviously do that. But then if you have to do something like if 7 is greater than 12 or something, tabhi you'd have to use if and else, because tabhi like you'd have to do something like this. But if it's just like equal to, then you can like use it as a substitute. Does that make sense? Okay. So we have covered most of today's course. Now I believe some people have to exit at 9:30. Now we will not be able to complete today's class at 9:30. It'll go on till around 9:45-ish. Take care. But we will try to cover as much as we can. Take care. So we have covered if and else statements. Wait, I'll just share the Figma file. So what we have done today, we've done if and else, and then switch. Okay, so we've done all of that. Now we're moving to the next segment of today's lecture, which is loops. Now loops are pretty self-explanatory from the name that they have been given. What does a loop do? गोल गोल घूमते रहता है. Circus fair में, the dragon trains or whatever you have, it's essentially going to go around in a circle and do the same thing over and over again. So like say you're in a carnival, right? And you have say you're in a carnival here, यहाँ पे एक tent है, ठीक है, बड़ा, and there are like ऐसे घोड़े type की चीज होता है ना, and like it keeps on spinning, it just keeps on spinning like that यहाँ पे. So if you had to get on one of these rides, you'd have to like give some money यहाँ पे, or like ticket या for anything you'd have to buy, and like for like once you give the ticket, it will only run for 2 or 3, like like 2 minutes or whatever. Anjush, it's okay. Yes, you'll be marked present, Anjush, don't worry. Okay, so wait. Okay, I think Pritish finally joined. Okay, so it's obviously going to ask for a ticket, but once you give the ticket, it's going to run गोल गोल ऐसे घूमते रहेगा for a specific duration of time. So what are you doing? You're giving it a ticket, and then it's going to run. But like ऐसे like say there is this man standing here, ठीक है, and he is checking, like because you could also put stone or just as a normal paper in there as well, right? So like what's stopping you from just putting in random pieces of paper and like passing that off as money, and then you get to ride on the rides. So what this security man does is it makes sure that you're submitting the tickets or like money instead of as a random things into the slot here. So what does it do? This man checks for a condition where it only has to be money or like tickets. So I'll just use money for now. Tickets, like you have to put money. If you put in paper or anything else, he's going to throw you out. Like he's not going to let you ride the carnival here. यहाँ पे. So the same way, if I put in money, then depending on how much of money I put, it's going to like keep on circling however many times I want it to circle. Does that make sense? Does it make sense now? Like jitna paisa
Yes.
dunga utna lamba tak I'll be able to ride the horse, right? So if I put in say 5 rupees now, it's going to run for like 1 minute. But if I put 10 minutes, it's going to run for 2 minutes. It's going to run twice. So what this man is doing is it's checking for a condition, and according to the condition, it is running the carousel.
Creating a loop.
Yes, creating a loop or like looping the whole thing. So the loops are also very similar. Now, what it essentially does, this is it's checking for a condition. Like it's a little more complicated than that, but just bear with me for now. What it does is this, it checks for a condition यहाँ पे, ठीक है? And then this is the carousel part. Code block to be executed, matlab, like the code block, like the thing that we want, ठीक है? That is the carousel. Arnish, we can control how many times the loop runs. Yes, we can. That depends upon how much of money you put in. So like essentially all of it depends upon the condition.
How many
पैसा भरोगे,
conditions
उतना
we
बार-
put in, like
Not how many conditions, what the condition is in the first place. Yeah, third one. Will mark you present. Okay. Okay. So let's try and break this down. So I'll actually, for the first time in probably the 3 classes that we've had, I'm actually going to read the material यहाँ पे for you to refer to it in the same time. So loops can execute a block of code a number of times. They're handy when you want to run the same code repeatedly, adding a different value each time. Now this adding a different value each time, I'm going to come to this, okay? We don't have to worry about it now. So there are 3 types of loops, for, while, and do while. These are essentially different types of carousels. एक ही चीज करेगा, like it'll like make the carousel spin depending on how much money you put in. It's just they have different ways of doing it. Pritish, you are present. Okay. Just a second. I drank some water. Okay. So what this first statement does, like if you can see the for loop, we're going to start with the for loop. Okay? Classic for loop. So this is the syntax. Now, all of you understand what syntax means? Or like, I mean, I have been using the word syntactical syntax for a while now. What syntax is? Syntax is essentially like a English में या फिर ऐसे चलती भाषा में programming language. So like it's essentially a very watered down version or like a very basic version of programming language. So without like the complicated keywords.
You can tell it like the way of writing a code.
It's just the logic. It's not programming. Like अगर तुम syntax भर दिया यहाँ पे, it's not going to work. It's just the logic for us to understand. So the for loop, it is divided into three, like the condition, like the bracket जहाँ ऊपर यहाँ पे है. It's divided into three parts. One is statement 1, statement 2, statement 3. What are these three statements? Like this part is understood, right? This is the घूमने वाला part. Carousel. Okay. So statement 1 first, and these statements are separated by semicolons. Okay. Semicolon. Statement 1 is executed before the loop, the code block starts. Statement 2 defines the condition for running the loop and the code block. So this is the security guard. Statement 2 is our security guard, who is checking how much of money we are putting it, whether we are putting in money at all, carousel pay. Statement 2 is a security guard. And statement 3 is executed each time after the code block has been executed. Like if we think about it this way, right? Actually, just going to anchor this. It's going to help me. How do I anchor things again? I forgot. Yeah, so I just anchor it. So when I select it, I'll just delete all of this here. So statement 1, it's executed before the loop or the code block starts, right? So we could do something like this. Next, and I'll adjust the font size. Okay, and I'm just going to bring this down by a mile. So what statement 1 does is it goes before the loop, executed before the loop. So इसको ऊपर बैठा देंगे, no problem. I'll actually change the color. I don't know. Yeah, I'll change it to that. It's not very readable because of the clashing and all that. So statement 1, what does it do? It goes above the code. Like you can imagine it to go above the code. There are chat messages of you. Rishabh, you have a question in the how do the listen? It's not here in the yeah. You just add both of them together, glue karke. Like just first do the greater than and then the equal to. On the keyboard, it's there beside the letter M, bottom right corner. Is that okay, Rishabh? Okay. So statement 1, you can imagine it to go before because it is executed before the loop code. Executed का मतलब वही होता है, ठीक है? वो जहाँ code जाता है. And statement 3, what does it do? Executed after the loop code. So this is like the main code block. This is the carousel. So एक बार चढ़ने के पहले, before you go to the horse riding वाला part, like घूमने वाला part, security guard के वहाँ, it's first वहाँ पे statement 1 run होगा, and then once you एक round जब complete हो जाएगा, like depending upon how much of money you put in, right? Like say I put in 15 rupees, 3 बार घूमेगा. So at the end of each round, so like 1 एक बार घूमेगा, then 2 एक बार घूमेगा. At the end of each of these rounds, statement 3 is going to run. Just to check, ये तो like 15 रुपए तो submit किया है ना, like 10 रुपए भर के, then he is not trying to run 3 times. So it's essentially trying to check. Security guard is being extra careful here. Which one is the security guard again? Tell me quick.
Statement 2.
Statement 2. Is that correct? Everyone else? Statement 2. Okay, good. I have my answer. And which one runs before?
Statement 1.
And when does statement 3 run?
After like we have done.
After everything.
No, after every time the code is executed. Like it goes
like
around
this code block after each round in the carousel. So,
yes.
So like not at the absolute end.
No.
So then I could just add this statement 3 At the end of
Like
the code block,
whenever
यहाँ
one round ends, we will check that the person has given for second round or not, and then we will.
पे हाँ. So it essentially adds it to the end of each round. Okay. ठीक है. So now let us see some real world example. ठीक है यहाँ पे. Now we've got the theory, so we understand how it works now. Now the specific example we have is this. For I equal to 1, now I is a variable. We don't have to declare var I equal to 1 abhi. ठीक है. For I equal to 1, I is lesser than or equal to 5, I plus plus. Now I plus plus has been covered, I believe. What does this mean, I plus plus?
Post increment.
Damn, ये तो मुझे भी नहीं पता था. But yes, it is post increment. So what would a pre increment be? Plus plus I?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. People have agreed. Yes, that is correct. So what does this do? Like, what does this mean? नाम तो मिल गया मुझे. Like, अगर बड़ा चढ़ा के
It
लिखना था तो
increases the value like by 1.
by 1. Like, can it increase it by 2 as well? Like, if I somehow.
Yes, we can, but we have to write like I guess.
So what would the statement be? Like, I variable hai mere paas. I want to add 2 to it. Yes, Arnish, that is correct. Okay, so that was just a tangent. So what does this do? So where is this? I'll actually go to the code editor now. ठीक है. Wait, is there anything to note? हाँ ठीक है. Okay, I'll go to the code editor. Okay. I'll actually just use the same example. Yeah, wait, I think it was I. Wait, what was it again? I'm just going to check. Okay. So it was I equal to 1, then I greater than or equal. No, that was not it. This. Then it was I plus plus. Then it was just like normal. अभी के लिए like console.log 1 round over. ठीक है. So this is the code that we have. Yes, good, Pritish. Okay. What is BR? BR is it's something you don't have to worry about right now. I'll cover it later on at the absolute end. BR is essentially part of HTML. JavaScript is normally used with HTML, na? Yes, Arnish, that is correct. So JavaScript is normally used with HTML and CSS. So like we're gonna cover that at the absolute end if we have time, but something you don't have to worry about now.
The
So-
answer to this will be like it will be showed 1 round over 5 times, no? Like the out.
Sure, let's try it. Yes, it's going to show it 5 times. Now, you don't have to understand any of this. Take care. I'm speaking to everyone here because I haven't explained it yet. We have HTML and class term syllabus. But then the HTML, Achha, okay. I mean, I guess we do. I don't know. Achha, we did have HTML class term. Okay.
We had C++ till class 8.
Okay, so we have I is equal to 1, I is lesser than equal to 5. So like which one is the security guard here in this code that we have?
The I is lesser than or is equal to 5.
What about the others? Okay, and with
Yes, that's
different answer. Okay, he's corrected as well. So this is the security guard. And what does the security guard do? Checks for the
It
condition.
is checking the
What is
condition.
this? This is a condition at the end of the day, because like, okay, is this a condition?
No, we are just declaring it that.
But why is it not a condition? If I had to turn this into a condition, what would it be? How would I do it? What would I do?
We could add a question mark in the end, like when ternary.
No, turn it in. I'd add an equal to, because
Acha, like that. Okay.
Like double equal to or triple equal to, depending on what you want to do. But like equal to one equal to only means declaring it. Okay? Like assignment operator. First class, remember. It's known as an assignment operator. And this is
Yeah.
a comparison operator.
So can
Or
we
like
use
whatever.
ternary in this one, like to change it to?
Ternary. नहीं ternary का तो if else होता है ना. Ternary is if else. If else, what does it do? If you remember, if else in itself उसके अंदर condition है. So like this condition that you see here ना अभी, or like ternary पे भी, where is the ternary example? Ternary का भी condition यहाँ आगे बैठता है. So the same way, this is just that condition. It's not the whole thing. You cannot use ternary here. It's just the condition wala part.
Acha, Swapnil.
Okay, so like,
Can I ask a question?
ball.
What if you do like I is equals to 1 and instead of that, if you do I is equals to 1 is greater than 0 question mark, like use a ternary here in the declaration part.
You can do that. Like then it's
Hmm.
going to assign or declare the variable depending on what you like. I'll actually like it'll assign the variable. It'll assign the value of the variable depending on the condition.
Huh.
Okay. This is something you don't have to understand. Everyone else. Okay. Like ternary operator.
Yes, yes.
I'll cover that. Vaibhav, you want to say something?
No.
Shanna, you were unmuting and muting your
We
mic.
did cover ternary like last class, didn't we?
We did. I'm not sure. People asked me
didn't.
to explain actually. Acha. Okay. Anyways, I'll continue. So यहाँ पे first what it declares I variable पहले declare. Now what is this I? Why are we even using I in the first place? What does I do? I is an assistant. This variable I that we have here. Now you could name it anything. You could name it A as well. But like for our purposes, अच्छा, we'll just name it A. ठीक है? Because A is a name that he likes more. Just assume for now. What does A do? A is an assistant to the security guard. ठीक है? Like every cliche Hindi movie, एक छोटा एक assistant की तरह है A. What does A do? He gets on the carousel. ठीक है? Security guard तो बाहर खड़ा रहेगा, सिर्फ condition check करेगा वो. But like assistant, he will get on the carousel and he will he will ride the carousel as it keeps on spinning. So what does like in practical, we can use this code to spam. We can use this code to spam. Like in statement 2, we can write as yes, we can do that. Rishabh, but okay, so I'll continue explaining. So this is like the assistant, and what does this do? So pehle A is equal to 1. Like simple enough. I'm coming to all of your questions. Anvit, wait, let me just finish. Just ask any questions you have, Abhi. Yahan pe. I'll explain it once for everyone else, and then we'll move on to the more complicated questions. Okay, so A is equal to 1. We're just declaring it. Okay. Then A is lesser than or equal to 5. What does this mean? This is the condition. Okay, we'll come back to this later. And A++, which essentially means A equal to A plus 1. Okay. So A++. So for A is equal to 1, this is the condition, and this is, so where is this code executed? Dimag mein, like mentally, where does he execute this? The computer. Like
After one round gets over.
One round gets over. So like in theory, where should it execute? Should it execute it here? Or should it execute it here? Excellent. I'll name it there. Okay, here या there? कहाँ पे? Where should A++ go?
Here.
Like here pe. Sure. Here. What about the others? What do they think?
Like if we print it in, if it will print in there, like it is the total absolute end of the code.
Ekdam end. That is correct. So abhi ke liye here pe, that is correct. So in theory, it's going to compile it at the absolute end. Like starting mein kya? A ka value 1 hai. Then it's going to like go into the thing. Okay, and A ka value 1 hai, and then it's going like security guard is going to check. Is A like 1 is lesser than or equal to 5. So like this condition, what it does is basically carousel को घुमाते रहो जब तक this condition is true. The moment this condition turns false, security guard तुम्हें बाहर निकाल देगा, ठीक है? And that is how this is an assistant, an accomplice to the security guard. So this variable A that we have here. So what it does is it counts the number of times we are spinning on the carousel. So first a is equal to 1, then is a lesser than or equal to 5? A is equal to 1 here. So हाँ ठीक है, 1 is lesser than or equal to 5. That is true. Like 1 is lesser than 5. 1 तो उससे छोटा है. So then it's going to like go यहाँ पे. We are not executing a plus plus here because it is executed यहाँ पे. ठीक है? Like इसको भी ignore मारो. So then what does it do? Console.log 1 round over. ठीक है, चलो. We get this first पहले. Then यहाँ पे it will update the value of a that we have here to a plus plus.
A will
Okay.
become 2.
A will become 2 now. So like a is technically computer के दिमाग में it is 2 now. So 2 is lesser than 5. Obviously yes, 2 is also lesser than 5. तो फिर से एक बार लगाएगा. Then here फिर से आएगा a is equal to 3 now. Like a plus plus, like a is equal to 3 now. Like 2 को फिर से 1 पे add किया, and then it becomes 3 now. So then 3 is lesser than 5. Yes, and then it goes on until we get 4. ठीक है? So like when a is equal to 4, फिर से console.log करेगा, and then 4 plus plus, right? So then what does that make it? Then a becomes 5. So then 5, is a lesser than or equal to 5? Will that be true or false?
It will be true.
It'll be true. Why? Because यहाँ
Because
equal to sign
A is,
कुछ
yes,
आया है.
exactly. A is equal to
हाँ.
5. It's not,
The equal to sign is also present there. So like 5, it's going to run again. ठीक है? And then फिर से 6. So like now a का value becomes 6. ठीक है? Assistant has like wrote the thing. Like 5 बार already कर लिया है, and this is the 6th time he is about to board the train again. Now what does the security guard do? He sees the 6 that he has. 5 बार का तो सिर्फ pay किया था ना? Like he has the 6, and like 6 is lesser than or equal to 5. 6 is obviously not lesser than 5. 6 is not equal to 5. Which means इसको निकाल देता है, ठीक है? Which means it is no longer like it comes here now. Like the assistant teleports इस जगह पे अभी, ठीक है? So this whole code that we have here, it only runs 5 times. एक बार अभी, एक बार अभी, एक बार अभी, Okay. If we don't give a plus plus, will it run indefinitely? Yes, it will run indefinitely. अच्छा, can I do this? Because a plus plus तो technically यहाँ पे ही है ना? Can I do this? Sure, wait. See?
Yes, it can.
We can do this because technically it's the same thing, na? So you ऐसे like इधर-उधर कर सकते हो. That is not a problem. So the same way, can we do this? हाँ? सोचो तो.
It
Is this
became,
okay?
it went out of the loop now. Like, shouldn't.
Huh.
No, it's statement 1 also.
Statement 1. So like, is it okay? Rishabh, I'm coming to your question. Wait. No, because it will not loop. Okay, Arnesh says no. But the value of a is still 1. Okay. Var a is equal to 1? Huh. Okay. Yes, I think Anvit is correct. Achha, wait, no. I think, no, see, it should not work. Anvit is correct here. Okay? It should not work. Why? Because we're supposed to put a var in here. But what JavaScript has done for us, uske paas dimag hai, theek hai, already. So like even when you're declaring variables, right? This var that you have here, it's not really necessary. Like it will work. But obviously var is a good practice to have. So like do not forget it. Okay? So like for all intents and purposes, we'll treat it as if it does not work. Okay? Agar var nahi laga to nahi work, kaam karega. But yahan pe, like if we put something like var equal to, yeah, and if we run it, it's going to throw us an error. Why is it going to throw us an error? क्योंकि इसके अंदर सिर्फ var नहीं लग पाएगा, ठीक है? So like इसके अंदर just keep it plain and simple. I is equal to 1. Count करता है सिर्फ. And if I run it now. So wait, there is something that I've done.
I and
somewhere.
A, I and A.
I
It
and A,
should be
yes.
A.
You need to change
Right.
it.
Sorry. So I believe I think even we can even put var inside यहाँ पे, and it's just abbreviation के लिए. हाँ, so we can put var anywhere we want. ठीक है? So यहाँ पे भी var लग सकता है. Yes. Thank you for pointing it out. I and A. ठीक है? So we can place it anywhere. Like statement 1, statement 3 का जो logic था, we can place it anywhere we want. No. यहाँ पे भी काम करेगा. ठीक है? So is it clear now? For loop. Why is it called a for loop, by the way? Okay, not getting any answers. For this specific condition. Yes, Anish, that is correct. Like for this condition, loop so many times. इसीलिए like ऐसा English भाषा की तरह है. It only executes for a specific condition. For. See again, Anvit. For, that word is there. This is exactly why it's called the for loop. यहाँ पे keyword भी है for का. Okay. So it's clear. Also, एक second. So I'll just again come back here. Yeah. So for how do I make this into an infinite condition? Acha, what if we don't give semicolon in line 45? Semicolon, semicolon अगर हटा दिए फिर नहीं काम करेगा. See, if I do this, it's going to throw us an error. So you can keep these empty, ठीक है? यहाँ पे ऐसे dash dash छोड़ सकते हो. But you need to like divide करके करना पड़ेगा, ठीक है? वरना like if you remove this semicolon, right, it's going to take this as your first statement 1. So like semicolon देना ही पड़ेगा. It tells you which one is statement 1, which one is statement 2, which one is statement 3. Arnish. Achha, so like if we have to do something like an infinite condition, infinite loop, what we would normally do is ऐसा condition देंगे जो कभी भी like break होगा ही नहीं, ठीक है? So like अभी क्या? अभी a is equal to 1. 1 is greater than or equal to 5. नहीं, एक second.
Smaller than or equal to 5. No?
A is always smaller than or equal to 5, and then a minus minus. Even then it should be an infinite loop. We'll actually try this idea first. So we run this. It's going to देखो कितनी बार करेगा, and obviously because this is like उन लोग के पास भी दिमाग है, ठीक है? So like they understand that this is an infinite loop, तो ऐसे कुछ देर बाद बंद कर देंगे. But if we remove the 1 plus plus, which is exactly what is like I plus plus or like A plus plus, it is exactly like, you know, limiting the thing ना. एक assistant का value तो like ticket counter तो वैसे ही change होता है. So that
But
is how.
if the value of A is not infinite, then why is it showing infinite times?
Value of A तो increase कर ही नहीं रहा ना. So like when we are checking for the condition, it is always true. So like 1 is always smaller than 5.
Like
And
if we are
A
on
का value
the
change ही नहीं होता.
if we are on the
तो
right, then you just
ऐसे घूमते ही रहेगा. Because like यहाँ तो security guard like कभी भी like check ही नहीं करेगा ना. Like check करेगा, but then the condition is defined that way. A is never exceeding 5. Yes. 5 से तो like ज़्यादा तो नहीं होता. Okay. So it's clear now. Everything for loop. Any questions at all? Anyone else? सब लोग एक बार yes yes लिखो, so I know you have understood. Okay, good. Okay. Wait a second. I will share it. The Figma thing again. We are almost done. ठीक है. I won't keep you for long now. So break continue. I'll just do that पहले. Break continue if पे. What does it do? It essentially breaks the same way. Security guard जो floor पे रहता है, break इसको बाहर निकाल देता है. That is exactly what it does. Like if I equal to 5.
we need to use it. Like, is it important or it will just work without break?
No, like depends on what you want to do, right? So like say I needed to skip something. What are they doing here? Jump out of a loop. मतलब बाहर निकाल दे रहे हैं security guard. So like what does break do? Like यहाँ for loop पे भी काम करेगा. So what they have done here is for I is equal to 0, I is lesser than equal to 10. तो 10 बार run होगा. ठीक है? नहीं, I think it'll run. So then ये इसको console.log के तरफ ही पकड़ लो. ठीक है? Console.log I. That is what they're doing here. So like यहाँ first पहली बार तो like, you know, it's going to run I is equal to 0. ठीक है, चलो. So it's going to print 0 पहले. ठीक है? तो 0. Then again it's going to go I plus plus यहाँ हो रहा है. So like it's going to become 1. Then it's going to do, you know, check for 1. 1 is again lesser than 10. True. ठीक है, तो check करेगा फिर से. It's going to skip over this. ठीक है? Because obviously 2 is not equal to 5. Then I बनेगा 3. then 3 is lesser than 10, ऐसे करके. We don't have to use break, Arnesh. We don't have to use break. Say, no, because say we want to also print the numbers after 6, 7, 8, 9. वो कैसे करोगे? देखो इसका आउटपुट क्या है? अच्छा नहीं next. हाँ अच्छा नहीं Arnesh, you are correct. हाँ ठीक है. So like we could technically use that as well, but then this is just good enough to know. ये जान के रखो अभी के लिए. Like you know what break does loop के अंदर, like loop से बाहर निकाल देगा. That is all that break does. ठीक है. That clear? Okay. So what if I want an output like this? 1 second. What if output की जगह I want something like 0, 1, 2, 3, मतलब ऐसे अलग-अलग line पे, ठीक है? And then 4, and then it's going to skip, and then 6, 7, 8, 9. ऐसे stops the third statement. No, it stops the whole thing from running. मैत्रेय break क्या करता है? पूरा बाहर निकाल देगा ना? So like it exits the loop, so it will teleport you यहाँ पे. और यहाँ पे तो like it's not inside the loop ना? We can use 2 loops for this. Okay, हाँ. How will you use 2 loops for this? So wait, I'll actually, because we're short on time here, I'm going to leave you all in 10 minutes. So what we can do is we can use this special another keyword that we have been given. ठीक है? It's known as the continue. What does continue does? Break क्या करता है? Break अगर तुम यहाँ पर break डाल दिए, पूरा बाहर निकाल देगा, and it's just going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. But what does continue do? Continue, it's just going to exit that one round. उस वाले round को skip कर देगा, and then next round से फिर से वापस आ जाएगा, ठीक है? So like यहाँ पे I have added this condition here. So like what does it do? Yeah, like you know, normal function like 1, 2, 3, 4, it's going to print as normal, like in a normal for loop, because obviously 4 is not equal to 5. And then on the 5th round, I is equal to 5. It's what it's going to do is 5 is equal to 5. So what it's going to do? Continue. This code block will be, executed finally. And what continue does? Temporarily, like is जो बाकी का, like you know, this line is left, right? We haven't executed this line yet, so इसको बाहर निकाल देगा. And then on the next loop again, so like I plus plus फिर से हो जाएगा, ठीक है? So like now I is equal to 6. So then 6, you know, like and 6 is lesser than 10, and then it's going to print 6 again. So what does it do? It essentially skips 5. Does that make any sense at all? देखो output देखो. Value 5 is not printed because continue skips that iteration of the loop. Take some time to think about
Could you
this.
just show it with an example?
All I heard was words. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to cram it all. Okay. Acha. Now because we're getting late, right? You all obviously have to go somewhere else as well, I think. Or okay, what do you want me to do? Can I take 20 extra minutes and teach you this properly, or do you want me to?
Yes, like for me it's okay.
बाकी सब बोलो. So continue breaks the loop only for that round, then again continues it. It's fine. What about the rest? Can I take 20 extra minutes? Fine. Okay, good. Acha, Rishabh, I'll watch the recording. Okay, that is fine then. I'll actually finish. Continue and break. I'll only do that. Okay, I'll not do the other 2 types of loops. It's just 20 minutes that you have to watch, nothing more. Okay. Okay, so I'll actually switch over to the code editor. Now we are going to use that same example that we had pehle. Statement 1. And then statement 2 I plus plus. Okay. Console.log 1 round over. Now अभी तो बेसिक सिर्फ एक सेकंड क्या की भूल करी वेट वेरिएबल नेम अगेन ओके सो अभी बेसिक सिर्फ सिंपल 5 बार एवरीबॉडी अंडरस्टूड दिस
Yes.
जल्दी 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 क्विक 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 yes
Yes,
good
yes.
good good हाँ everybody has understood this now what if I want to skip the number अच्छा wait actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to console.log a that way it's more easier to see so it's going to do 1 2 3 4 5 okay so now I want to skip 3 I do not like the number 3 so I want to skip it how do I skip it अच्छा नहीं say अच्छा no actually not skip it पहले what I want to do is सिर्फ 3 तक ही execute करूंगा ठीक है 3 के बाद जो भी आएगा I'll just I don't want 4 and 5 to be printed I don't like 4 and 5 I will not print anymore I'll just do till this much what do I do इस for loop के अंदर yes or that is correct for loop के अंदर यहाँ पे I add a condition कैसे if block से which we studied पहले वाले क्लास में like अभी earlier today if a is equal to 3 then what it's going to do break and we have already covered break क्या करता है security guard है हर float में खड़ा रहता है as soon as it as soon as finish with your job बाहर कर देगा तुम्हें so what does it do third iteration पे like third loop पे जब चलता है first it's going to like print 3 ठीक है when a is equal to 3 it's going to print 3 and then it's going to check the condition is if a is equal to 3 obviously yes a is equal to 3 so then what it's going to do it's going to break बाहर कर देगा if I run it हाँ that is exactly what it does 1 2 1 3 ये 2 बार हुआ क्योंकि मैंने 2 बार क्लिक किया but that is pretty much it see एक बार now what would happen ये जो security guard है हमारे पास what if I placed it यहाँ पे what will the output be console.log के पहले ही मैंने लगा दिया सिर्फ 1 लेकिन यहाँ 3 का चेक हो रहा है 2 कहाँ गया हाँ Anish where did 2 go because till the second round there is no till a is equal to 2 there is no condition so हाँ yes Anvit that is correct why is it correct because यहाँ पे before we even get a chance to print उसके पहले ही तो security guard लगा दिया है ना so what does it do it's going to do 1 2 only it's like as we're on the third round before we even get the chance it's going to do what it's going to do is going to do 3 is equal to 3 and then ऐसे बाहर निकाल देगा इसको it's going to throw him out but then if we again bring him back again नीचे security guard को 1 2 3 simple as that because why give me a reason quick security guard को नीचे देने से 1 2 3 why is 3 printed
because after it is done then the security guard throws it out
हाँ exactly so is that clear ऐसे बस हाँ बोलने के लिए हाँ मत बोलो I can cover it again do you want me to cover it again everyone yes please Anvit okay I'm covering it again कौन सा part like do you want me to cover break like do you understand what break does अच्छा okay process this हाँ पहले okay पहले खुद समझने की कोशिश करो Anvit first try to understand it on your own break what does it do पहले बस like at its very core बाहर कर देगा break that is what it does
so it printed 3 and broke the loop and like it threw us out he didn't let us write the 4th and the 5th rounds or something like that
हाँ break like 4th और 5th round में वैसे भी print नहीं करेगा no matter where you place it that is guaranteed क्योंकि break तुम्हें loop से बाहर कर देगा third iteration पे ही because a is equal to 3 and a is equal to 3 पे ही break लगा है
so if we wrote a is equal to 5 then till it would have printed till 5
हाँ it would have printed till 5 तो
Okay.
नॉर्मली होता बिकॉज 5 के बाद तो और कुछ है भी नहीं. मैत्रेय, दिनेश को, people have become very quiet ये टॉपिक कवर करने के बाद. Yes, slowly getting it. Okay. Now everybody is like slowly getting it. So I'm going to try and explain it again. Okay. So break का functionality तो सबको समझ में आ गया ना? No matter what, where break is placed, where security guard is placed, बाहर कर देगा. What does break do? Quick. Right. Everybody. I want an
Throw
answer
us
from
out.
everybody. Throw us out.
Park.
Yes. Baki. I'm not getting much participation of you. I need to know that all of you are honest. Stops the cloud. And what? Baki, Jodishko, others, where? Other one. Sohamnag, I think Sohamnag knows already, but yeah. Antara, Jyotishko, are you both?
Yes. What do we have to write?
You don't. What does break do? Break क्या करता है?
Break. It stops the loop.
हाँ, नहीं ऐसे like simple भाषा में बाहर कर देगा और कुछ नहीं.
Yes.
Like break यहाँ पे लगा है, मैंने यहाँ break. No matter where I place it, break उतना तक जितना तक हुआ है, it's going to do. उसके बाद बाहर कर देगा. And break is like a security guard, right? So like it's going to patrol उस layer पे ही, जहाँ पे like you know it will detect break, वहाँ पे बाहर कर देगा तुम्हें. So now my question is placement of the security guard that we see here. Break जो security guard है, उसको अगर मैं console.log के पहले ही लगा दूँ, that would make a difference. Now, what difference would it make? If I place it
Like before printing 3, it will break it. So it will be printed till 2. 1 and 2.
So like before it even gets a chance to print and you know like print 3, उसके पहले ही तो check कर लेगा ना condition. So like 1, 2 ही सिर्फ print होता है और like 3 print होने के पहले ही तो बाहर कर देगा.
Then it will break and after that it will print.
हाँ.
So
और print होगा ही नहीं तो like but then code का print तो बाहर है, which so this
yes,
never
like
gets
after that
executed.
will print A. So
हम्म.
like 1 and 2.
वही. And if I place it इसके पीछे इसके नीचे, what it does is पहले तो like 3 ठीक है, ऐसे टॉम एंड जेरी के तरह ऐसे नाच के आएगा, 3 प्रिंट कर देगा and then it will try to run, but then security guard तो यहाँ है, इसको पकड़ लेगा. So like 3 is equal to 3, it's going to break. So like after we print 1, 2 and 3, it's going to do that. But if we place the security guard पहले, before it even gets a chance to print 3, it's going to print 1 and 2. Have we understood this much?
Yes. Yes.
For the rest, chat पे लिखो जल्दी. Yes. Okay. तरह. Somehow. Okay. Okay. Do we stop abhi or do you want me to cover continue as well? Continue भी समझा दो?
हाँ.
Okay. So अभी तक क्या करता है? It's just going to do 1, 2. Break क्या करता है? एक बार ऐसे ही बाहर कर देगा, ठीक है? And like you know, you get teleported at the end, एकदम नीचे. But what does continue do? Continue teleports you next loop पे, like यहाँ पे फिर से continue कर देगा, like var a is equal to 1, like ऐसे a++ होने के बाद it's going to do teleport you here. So like say I want to do something like, नहीं पहले मैं कोड लिख देता हूँ. I'm going to execute it.
Like if we do, it will print till 5. Like
it's going to print till 5 no matter what, but then 3 को skip कर देगा. Why? So like 1, 2 तक तो ठीक है, everybody understood, right? Like 1, 2 normal एकदम, like यहाँ तो like 3 तक तो आता ही नहीं है कुछ, तो 1, 2 will be printed. Is that agreed upon?
yes.
हाँ. So like 1, 2 तक तो ठीक ही है. Then 3 पे जब आता है, like var a is equal to 3, then 3 is lesser than 5. Yes. So what does it do? Then it goes यहाँ पे direct 3 is equal to 3. हाँ मतलब security guard तो पकड़ लिया ऐसे. यहाँ का security guard he is kinder. पूरा बाहर नहीं निकाल देगा. He will just make you like यहाँ से इस ब्रैकेट से जो देख रहे हो ना, इस ब्रैकेट से फिर से वापस ऊपर टेलीपोर्ट कर देंगे. ठीक है, इस ब्रैकेट से फिर से वहां पर. दिस इज कंटिन्यू कट वर्क. सो इफ इट वाज ब्रेक ऐसे एकदम खरूस, ही डज नॉट टेक नो फॉर एन आंसर, सिर्फ 1 2 प्रिंट करता है और उसके बाद ऐसे बाहर कर देता है. ठीक है, as soon as he detects 3. But continue, he is more benevolent. What does he do? He is going to stay on यहाँ
It
पे.
throws you out for 3 and then again that's in for
He
4
only
and
kicks
5.
out 3, and that's yeah.
हाँ, he only kicks out इस यहाँ से. Like so ये वाला लाइन एग्जीक्यूट नहीं हो पाता. But then again next round पे तो ये a++ फिर से हो जाता है. So then a is equal to 4. 4 is lesser than 5. तो फिर से तो you know it completely skips over this because condition the false रहेगा यहाँ पे. And then console.log a. Like this is going to console.log 5.
But if we like put console.log before that this thing, then
हाँ,
so like if we put it before this thing, then it will also print 3 like
3.
till 5.
हाँ, it's going to print normal. Q, like let me just do that. हाँ, see, अभी तक तो नॉर्मली हो रहा है. लाइक इसका
हाँ.
लगाने का मीनिंग क्या हुआ? इसके लगाने का मीनिंग क्या हुआ इस
Like this.
इस सिक्योरिटी गार्ड के बाद जो भी आएगा, लाइक इफ आई डू समथिंग लाइक इसके बाद अगर कुछ कोड था, ठीक है, इट विल नॉट प्रिंट दैट. सो लाइक console.log हाई. लाइक देखो, सबके बाद एक हाई 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 है, लेकिन 3 जब ही आता है इट स्किप्स. लाइक यहाँ से फिर से वापस चले जाते हैं. लाइक देखो हाई यहाँ पे तो नहीं है. Somebody chat.
Like it has to be after that,
हाँ,
after the condition.
after the condition. और लाइक डिपेंड्स, लाइक जहाँ पे भी लाइक जिसके बाद तुम्हें और कोई कोड नहीं रन करना उस राउंड के लिए, उसके पहले लगा दो the code that you do not like. I will give you 2 minutes. Just get a hold of all of this. Kind of reminds me of splitting. Like it only takes one small segment. I mean, in a way, okay. Like, ठीक है. ज़्यादा दिमाग को confuse मत करो अभी. So, like, has everybody understood? Break and split. Break and continue. Anish, if we use break here, where do we use break? If we अच्छा इस code पे if we use break यहाँ पे, then we will get nah, you will no, Anish, I don't think
We will not get high, we will just give 1 and 2.
We'll get 3 क्योंकि देखो security guard तो इसके बाद नहीं है
yes,
ना.
3 yes.
So like it has no business. ये इसके पहले जो भी आता है security guard, like security guard switch के समय पे भी, see the switch के समय पे where had we used switch के security guard. So like if we added break यहाँ पे ना, it does not care what you do इसके पहले. Security guard does not care what you do इसके पहले. Just after that, both the security guards, like इसके पहले you can write whatever rubbish you want, ठीक है? But उसके बाद he protects. तो like नीचे descend नहीं करने देगा तुम्हें. लाइक ब्रेक यहाँ पे भी स्विच केस वाले इसमें भी नीचे नहीं जाने दे रहा था ना, लाइक ऊपर तक तो ठीक है, ही लेट यू एग्जीक्यूट उस फ्लोर का कोड, लेकिन नीचे वाला कोड तो ही डिड नॉट लेट यू एग्जीक्यूट। सिमिलरली ब्रेक भी नीचे वाला कोड नहीं एग्जीक्यूट करेगा, लेकिन ऊपर वाला कोड कर पाएगा। अर्निश, इज इट? फिर से समझाओ। हाँ, do you want me to explain this again? Break and continue, anyone?
Why did it not print high after 3?
Because what does break do? Break
throws it down.
protects नीचे वाला part ना, like नीचे का फ्लोर, नीचे वाले फ्लोर जो भी है, नीचे वाले कोड जो भी है, it protects that. So like a इक्वल जब भी देखता है तभी यहाँ से निकाल देगा, like इस लाइन से यहाँ से निकाल देगा। But then so like this does not get a chance. So like यहाँ तो पहले already 3 print हो जा रहा है, like a is equal to 3. So like देख लो यहाँ पे समझ लो 3 को लेते यहाँ से कंसोल लॉग 3, but इसके बाद सिक्योरिटी गार्ड आता है, and then console.log हाई प्रिंट नहीं कर पाता क्योंकि यहाँ से तो बाहर ही निकाल दिया ना।
Okay.
So anyone, do you want me to repeat this at all?
No, it's okay.
No. Okay. So everybody has understood break and continue. Then I want a yes from everyone. Nahi hai? Like if you haven't, then it's okay. You can do it again as well. You have a do yes diya. Okay. Good. Is there anyone who hasn't? Charge in here. There are 3 of my accounts. 4, 7. That makes 7. Moitri. For you. Moitri and Vaibhav. Vaibhav, have you answered? Vaibhav to give. Moitri. Sure to. Pakka. Okay, good. Your assignment is going to be mostly on break and continue, I think. अभी तक बनाया नहीं है मैंने. I will be making it. I will also be sending you the material finally. Is सबका like all the Figma notes that I share ना. Excellent.
Whatever you wrote in this like whole thing in program is right now, like could you just copy paste it?
हाँ, I'm sending it to you. अभी कर दूँगा वो.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Where is the server? एक second. अभी के लिए I'm just like posting it in एक second. I'm just posting it in क्या कहते हैं? Yeah, JS General, ठीक है?
JS General.
हाँ. एक second को keyboard shortcut लगाने गया था, but apparently messed something up. एक second. Next, I'll actually, you know what I'll do? I'll actually edited code edited पे ही. Sure. So do you want me to cover anything else अभी के लिए? Anyone?
I
Sure.
think
Could you
not.
just, could you just like scroll up to the if else part once?
हाँ, just a second. I'm just in the middle of doing something. Second. Just a second. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll just copy, paste this in JS general. And I'm just going to enter. Yep. Today's class code. Okay, so yeah, I'll come back to Figma now. Yeah. Which one do you want me to go to?
Like in the if else,
If
the
else.
one which we're writing code and all.
This Figma पे या फिर code पे?
Code पे.
Sure. I've sent the code by the way. Okay.
Yes, you sent it. So like, just leave it.
अच्छा ठीक है. Okay. The video will be available soon as well. So if you want to leave, you can leave now unless you have any questions that you want to
I
ask.
still
Okay.
think that I am not able to understand that if
Oh.
else and ternary.
Ternary. Okay. Ternary.
that-
I'm just.
And also the shirt one, green and.
So what does it do? यहाँ से बस like just look at the screen. यहाँ से like shirt 2. It's just like pick that one up. ठीक है. So did you understand the if else वाला part यहाँ पे?
Like I didn't understand how to write it. I don't know why.
Write what? Like the if
How
else
to
part.
write the code. Yes.
Wait. Can you repeat the question again?
No, like this like the type of syntax and like how to write it, how to write the code.
अच्छा. So like if पहले लिखोगे, then curly braces, like then bracket पहले लिखोगे and like the condition will go here. So like 10 is greater than 7 or something, and then curly braces से wrap कर दोगे, like यहाँ नीचे curly brace होगा, नीचे curly brace होगा, and then यहाँ पे like whatever like console dot log 10 greater than 7 और फिर next line पे यहाँ पे और like यहाँ पे भी लिख सकते हो wherever you want. You write else space if और फिर से curly braces and then whatever code you want to write inside. अच्छा sorry else if फिर bracket पे यहाँ पे condition दे देना, ठीक है. 7 is greater than 10 or whatever, ठीक है, like A choose कर लो.
Both same thing, na?
No, it's different though.
Now it's
I changed it. Okay. ठीक है. Is there any other question? Like, is there anything you'd want to ask? Follow up with? Like, understood though? Then I think we have nothing less to cover. Okay. It's okay. Arnish, Anvit, everyone, you can leave. We had a very long session. We covered a lot. We did not cover 2 types of loops. वो हो जाएगा. Nobody ever uses those types of loops anyways. Recording, yeah. So like recordings and everything will be available. You will be getting a quiz and a coding project. Kya recording? Kya? Stop karo. Stella, where is Stella? She's recording too. Huh, she is recording. Okay, okay. So it's not something we don't really have to worry about. It was, I know. I planned on doing this in 2 segments, but people were not free yesterday.
It became a bit confusing, like after this, all these if else part and switch and the loop.
I know I should have held off. ठीक है. It's nothing you all can't conquer. ठीक है. So I will be also like kal, if you have any questions at 4 p.m. ish. No, at 4:30 p.m. ish. I will be 4:30 नहीं तभी मैं piano बजाऊंगा. When do I want to host it? Kal same time 7 p.m. पे I will host a doubt session. ठीक है, I'll announce this as well for today's class because some people might understandably have doubts. So like अच्छे से material भी send कर दूंगा, वो पढ़ लो, and then we will, you know, move on to the next class, which will be in 2 to 3 days. ठीक है?
Okay.
Okay. चलो बहुत पढ़ाई हो गई अभी. Stella, are you with us? You can stop recording now. Stella. She is bunking class. Do you know, Stella?
You will have to edit it. All the talkings.
No, I will not edit any of the talking. Keeps the whole thing human. Stop recording. Stella, ami Discord yo keeping kuchi.
Bad student.
Very bad student, huh? Stella.
Habit, can't do anything of it. Like this.
घूमिए पढ़ लो ना कि
আমি জানি না কি করছে.
yesterday also she was in the VC and she just slept through that core meeting. Hi, কি বলবো?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, she just like me for real.